Hey there, if you're new to these parts, welcome to the channel. I'm a part-time thief, full-time scammer, and here on this channel I combine reselling online with adventure and travel. Kind of a symbiotic relationship, so if you're a fan of reselling, if you're a fan of travel and adventure of all kinds, I'm not just talking treks through the forest and the mountains, road trips, I'm talking ghost hunts, I'm just talking at this point. Adventures, I like to call a lot of things adventures. So adventures, online reselling, people want just adventures, or just online reselling tips and tricks. I have both. You never know. The adventure lies in the watching of the video sometimes. So let's get to it. So I'm here in the beautiful city of Richmond, Virginia, and I had no idea how much I would absolutely love this city. Here I'm in front of the Science Museum of Virginia, which has the world's largest Kugel Ball. It's about 29 tons of solid granite. It's 9 feet in diameter. It's pretty cool. It's a sculpture, an art piece, and a science demonstration all in one. Now, it's perfectly spherical and it sits on a perfectly sized concave cup. That's the only way this thing can work. And water is forced up through the bottom of the cup, which creates a perfect distribution of water across the base of the ball. And it's only because they're both perfectly sphere that it's able to create a very thin layer of water that actually allows this enormous 29-ton ball to float. And not only that, but you're actually able to change the direction of its rotation. You can speed it up, slow it down. It does take a little bit of effort. They claim that it doesn't take no effort at all, but no, it's 30 tons and it's definitely heavy, and especially when the water's on it, it's a little bit slippery. But you can definitely change the direction and speed of the ball. Read more about it for yourself if you're interested. It's really such a cool thing. And it's the world's largest, is right here in the US, which is awesome, and it's free to see at any time on your next stop through Richmond, Virginia.
Second floor.
So I'm in the elevator and you see this list. Now, it doesn't matter because I don't have time to show you because it is garage sale weekend and we need to go. So bad news, good news. Bad news is this thing too close? I can't tell. Bad news is garage sales were a big losing situation today. I got nothing. I ended up at 3, for 2 neighborhood garage sales, I ended up at 3 houses total. So it's pretty pathetic. Good news is that it was a perfect reason to get up early and get outside. Even though it was dark when I woke up, I used to believe growing up for a long time that if you wake up in the morning and it's still dark outside, that means it's still last night and you should get your ass back to bed. I can't stand the thought of sleeping in and wasting any time, and I wish I didn't have to sleep at all. Sleep is such a waste of time. So I thought I'd show you guys how I go through these used Legos. In this case, it's this Lego Friends. Even if you don't want to see it, I am the captain here. You find a lot of Legos out in the wilds at garage sales and thrift stores and the like, and it's a risky business to buy these things, especially when the price is kind of high. And everybody will always tell you at lawn sales that they swear that the Lego sets are complete, and you can never trust people. First thing, obviously, to make sure it's even worth your time to do this process is when you see Legos out there, obviously just go on Lego or on eBay and look them up. You can pretty much just look them up. Quickest way is just to type in Lego in the search bar with this 41135 number, and that's the quickest way, and you'll see all sorts of variations in price that way. But then you can kind of assess the purchase price that they're asking for versus what it's worth online, if this process is even worth it to you, because some of these, like this is a 600 piece, so it does take a little bit of time to go through and make sure all the pieces are there, and there's a lot of ways to do that. This is how I do it. So I dump all the pieces out here, and then this instruction booklet, this is the 3rd one. So if you go to the last instruction booklet, sometimes they only have 1 book, sometimes 2, or this case it's 3, sometimes they have more. But in the back of the book, they always have this inventory of all the pieces, and this is kind of how they break it down here. So I dump them out, and then I literally just start at the top and I find 3 white of those, and as I find the pieces, I put them into this little sandwich baggie. Basically, I don't move on to the next item until I find all of the first item. So once I find 3 of those, then I'll go to this next the second item there, and so on and so forth. In the case that I don't find that piece, one of the pieces. Like that first one actually has 3. I could only find 2. So what I do is I go over and I make a spreadsheet. I put the part number 614101. I just write what it is and then how many I am missing. And I'll do this for the whole set once I go through all these pages. And then I will take this list and I will go to the Lego store that is about an hour away from where I live and get the pieces that are missing. In the case that you don't have a local Lego store, you can go on bricklink.com. There's also some other sites, I'm sure. Bricklink, I think, is the most favored and trusted by Lego users, collectors and sellers and such. So that's how I do it. Okay, so I finished up going through all the parts here. That's everything that was included on this list. These are all extra pieces that I'm going to throw in. I finished in 25 minutes and some seconds. So my hourly wage just went way up. I was missing these 2 parts, but I did find that black piece. So I'm just missing this one, which may actually be in there, but sometimes you can't really tell the colors of these things. But I'm gonna go to the Lego store because I'm there anyway every so often. So I'm just gonna pick that piece up, and it's probably gonna be like, I don't know, a quarter or something like that. Which also, by the way, any pieces that you need obviously also go into the calculation of the overall cost of your Lego. So anyway, and here's one that was recently sold, 85 plus 15 shipping, pre-owned, very similar to mine. It's complete in the box with all the instructions. So my estimation of $100 will be about right. But it is actually a variable to take into consideration, because this hour approximately that I'm going to be spend going through all these parts, seeing if I have all of them, I have to compare that hour to what I would be doing with that hour otherwise, in terms of like listing other items or sourcing other items or any other attributes of reselling, or even outside of reselling in your life. What is that hour worth? What could have you done outside of that? So thinking about that, if I'm going to take an hour to do this, I've already put $25 into the purchase of this Lego. Now, if I can only sell this thing for, say, 60 bucks, for example, and then after taxes and fees and all the costs of doing so and selling online, now I'm only profiting, say, $10 to $15 for that hour plus some other time, which, you know, you had to take into account for actually going out to find this thing, the other minutes and 10 minutes doing this or that for this item. But anyway, if I'm taking that hour and it's only worth $10 to $15, to me it's not worth it, because I can probably list like 10 to 15 other items and make way more than $10 or $15. You know, so you compare it. If you're working another job and say you're making like $12 an hour, maybe then you have a case where this could be worth that hour. But in most cases, doing it this way, counting the parts, it takes time, and unless you can really sell the Lego for a decent amount, or you're making whatever you decide is worth your time, it's not an advantageous thing to do for everyone. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for checking it out. We started this video in the beautiful city of Richmond, Virginia, and we're going to end with a little video out of the Botanical Gardens in Atlanta, Georgia, another beautiful location on this earth. And I hope you get out in your own adventures and you're able to see both of these places. And again, eBay and adventure, they go hand in hand, and I use both to feed the other, and that's what these videos on this channel will be about. So hope to see you again next time. If not, I get it, I suck.